Last concluded, and we do have that second map of the opening series between BESTIA and Fluxo. Of course, that first map, a trouncing by BESTIA on their opponent's map pick, 13 to quite the start in this series. We're going straight into the game, ladies and gentlemen, right into the action. That second map, as I mentioned, the pick of BESTIA, it is going to be Nuke.
It is Nuke indeed here, and it's a good map for Fluxo as well. Why they picked it, 8-3, with wins against Made in Brazil, Imperial, 9Z, W7M, and Sharks twice. Naz already opened things up with a double of the dualies, making the hat trick. The brace into the hattie, looking for the quad as Noktse has one more. BESTIA with a brilliant pistol round thanks to the new kid on the block, his fourth map for BESTIA, and he's got them on the board with an early pistol round, a very critical pistol round. Just as I'm singing Fluxo's praises about who they've beaten, Naz decides to say, you know what, no. A site is my site. Get off the site.
I got the teams mixed up in that pregame, but the point stands. Fluxo dominating on that first one. This is their map pick, as you mentioned. They should be comfortable on it, but BESTIA, they need to wake up now. It's critical that they do so. Starting off right with the pistol, now looking to convert it with ease as well. Fluxo not going to go for a force buy, just glocks across the board. Chay and Lucaozy, the last two remaining, and they'll get nothing in this round. A clean second anti-eco for BESTIA. Starting things off right on Nuke, but this is where the trials and tribulations really begin for this T side.
Indeed, this is where they really get tested now. The AKs are out, the auto shotgun from Iron. The MP9 still in effect for the CTs. This is going to cause some interesting defensive play. And on a map like Nuke, shotguns, SMGs, very dangerous. Lots of angles you can play with them. Deep molly in for Tomaszin. He's not going to go too far. BESTIA's Opper, Noktse, tries to go a little too far aggressive, and he gets stuck. Tomaszin forced away, and through the smoke, PKL powers through. Molotov towards Hell, keeps luchov at bay from any sort of attempt to retake control of ramp. B site vulnerable, only one down. That is the wounded MP9, smoked off at single door. The door opened up before, and they knew he was going to cross. VSM starts the spray, and Noktse had no time to pray. Bomb goes down to Stralis plant, and I think it's a save call here for BESTIA. There's no reason to surrender these guns on the CT side, and already that lead, that early tenuous lead, Nate, is sliced in half.
A strong start. Again, when things get tough, you can crumble rather quickly. The AK is edging out the M4 at ramp, and of course catching that MP9 with ease at range. Makes sense for BESTIA to save this. They'll be able to drop some rifles over, or even purchase them in their own right, Tomaszin and Noktse. They'll have a very solid chance going into round number 3, but Fluxo starting things off early. Very concerning for BESTIA's odds in this series, again, given that trouncing that we saw in the opening map. Purchased as well, the auto shotgun player dropping that over. That is a very big edge for Noktse to have in the yard or wherever he decides to use it. Iron probably going to play that power position top hut with the auto shotgun. Still a very stout defense coming up for BESTIA.
There's the opener from Naz again. He goes down to 1 HP, but that's a nice man advantage, at least in numbers. Technically, a man advantage for BESTIA. Now it's a very easily tradable kill. A stray flashbang can quite literally take down Naz, but he'll swap the auto shotgun over and give the M4 to Myron. It's a good shuffle. Naz spotted. The nade will do him in. He's got nothing to do, but he does still get one with the Molotov before he gets naded into oblivion, even 3v3. Now 2 players up in heaven for BESTIA, trying to hold out the A side. They peek too early though! Zevi and PKL a pair! And PKL the double on his own. Great hold from Zevi and PKL, waiting for the impending push of the CTs. They tie things up at 2 apiece. The T side is rolling once the guns have come through. And for BESTIA, a timeout forced into round number 5. And when you look at the kill disparity between the top and the bottom for BESTIA, 7 kills for Naz, 6 kills for the rest of the team, you see a distinct problem.
Yeah, Naz doing all the heavy lifting in the early rounds. And BESTIA, as you mentioned, looking a bit antsy, looking a little bit worse for wear. They had the utility to stop the plant, to stall for time, to allow for rotations to come through, and they peak before that plant is really attempted. Fluxo, sure, they're caught off kilter. Sure, they're not in the best of positions, but they're still more than comfortable sitting in the site and waiting for a push to come in, and they welcome that push with open arms, shutting down whatever the retaking CTs were trying to do and punishing them for that a little bit of extra aggression before the push should have come through.
Outer yard control against a very sparsely utility purchased BESTIA. Not much left, even though there's still about a minute and a half to go. 2 smokes and an AG. The MP9, the Deagle, the M4s, the op. First contact made into lockers. PKL, a messy duel, but he wins that one in the end. Maybe somebody will try to get that M4 of Myers, and indeed Tomazine succeeds. He'll slip away up into heaven. Not spotted by Lucaozy, now he is. Lucaozy takes a little bit of damage from that in the interim. Got a minute to go. A lot of space for Fluxo under their control. But they'll have to make a play. And the problem is for Fluxo right now, they've been spotted. There's a good idea of where they are. Now Naz has cleaned out lobby. Hasn't gone deep, but he's got that information. That smoke's going to telegraph exactly what's going on, too. They're going to know it's a B hit now. Down, the rotations already go. Chay with 1, however. Naz goes too aggressive, and Tomazine falls to the very same. Chay, who had a very strong map number 1 for Fluxo, finally gets himself on the board with a pair. Noktse in towards Dark Guppy. Can't quite win that duel. 2 players swinging towards him. And luchov fares no better. They deny the op as well, which is an interesting course of action. Fluxo electing to stick with the 5 rifles, and I don't blame him. The rifle's been very good, and Zevi's quite a capable rifler in his own right. There's no need to force the big green on a map like Nuke. And BESTIA, nothing to buy with. Their lead gone, and now they're down. And a flawless victory for Fluxo against that broken buy. It's all looking up for the Brazilians and for BESTIA. Things are starting to look much more akin to how Overpass played out.
Yeah, just a flash in the beginning, a flash in the pan, perhaps. Fluxo really hitting their stride, hitting cruise control. They have so much cash in the bank, as you mentioned, going for comfort picks, for going the op. Zevi has his A1S in hand. Fluxo gonna make a quick series of the opener. Lucaozy starting things off right. Just USPs, can't expect too much. Maybe a kill. The numbers do Lucaozy in. And in fact, luchov doubling down, double dinks PKL. Now things can get a little bit scary. 2 rifles dropped and now recoverable for BESTIA. They can get some control quickly and force all the Fluxo defenders into the site, into awkward, cramped positions. Then maybe these rifles, cobbled together with a pair of USPs, can get across the line. But time is of the essence. And given how far away they are from the action, I think Luchov and Myron are going to be more inclined to save these weapons instead, with Tomazine and Naz looking to do some damage or perhaps find a rifle for themselves as well on the way out. So Fluxo continuing their spat of rounds, a 4th on the board. ESM, an awkward spot. Passes like ships in the night. Both players do. Tomazine now blocking Zevi, who makes no recognition. He's shot in the back. Tomazine does get a parting gift, but does not survive with the rifle. 4-2. BESTIA, another chance at bat. They get the up for Noktse. They get rifles across the board, including that pair of AKs, which allows for some extra utility investment. Now the question is, can all these pieces work in synchronicity to secure a round?
All the pieces have to work together, or in synchronicity, as you said. But all the pieces, Nate, have been absent at the right times. For BESTIA rather, but now they've got a couple of kills, now make it 3 in a row. No response for the Brazilians, as just Zevi and Chay left alone. The bomb on the A site. Tomazin in a great spot to take down Chay. And Zevi, a little bit away from his teammate, trying to figure out what to do. Of course, the money's great for Fluxo, so they can buy up again. That was a great A-hold, the nade to start it off. And now 2 op kills for BESTIA. Noktse picking up that big green, looks for the third. And there he's got it. Bags 3. Third round of the board for BESTIA. And a good turnaround. All the pieces came together again, Nate. And on the CT side of Nuke, they kind of have to, if there is going to be anything for BESTIA to have in this series.
Yep, Noktse already showing us that he can move around with the op. That's always a very ever-present threat on this map. It can work in so many different locations, whether it be heaven, whether it be out in the garage towards yard, whether it be towards ramp. Noktse putting it to good use in round number 7. Fluxo, though, not out of cash, not even close. They're going to have an op of their own. They're actually going to go for it this time. Zevi getting that weapon in hand. AKs around. Of course, a full belt of utility for both teams. Fluxo standing ready to get back into the driver's seat and slowing things down as well. Well, BESTIA upping the pace, getting control outside yard. One secret, one back red. The op up close and personal. Tomazin, though, is the one to start things off. From secret, drops the op of Zevi at range, and that is a killer opener to find.
And now Luchov's going to press for more. Lucaozy and VSM combined, but there still is the op of Noktse around aggressive, but he gets paid for he gets punished for his transgression. He pays with his life. And now Myron's trying to regain some sort of control outside, backing to credit. Might try and go into big garage, but it's a very awkward fight for him. BESTIA now down the man that they had the advantage just briefly early. Now down 2 as PKL punishes Tomazin, sticking his neck out just a tad too far. Chay holds the line for a push in lobby. Naz to the ground, and Myron in the 1v4 outer yard. Lucky for the first try, gets the timing well. Now they know where he is. Bomb's gone down to B, and Chay can either rotate down the vents or hang out on A, or even go all the way down to ramp. Chay elects the middle decision of the 3. And Myron will probably just try and save here. I don't suspect he will go for a retake. No utility is not really worth it for him. Especially with his money, too. He can drop Naz or Noktse or Tomazin and still have money for a buy. Luchov has some money as well. But 5 rounds already on the T side for Fluxo. It's a solid start. It is their pick, after all. And a map they've done quite well on.
Yes, it is, but it does feel like they've been in the driver's seat for a majority of this map, if not all of it. Even the rounds BESTIA have won. Fluxo are still putting up good ideas, showing us that they are the team that's more comfortable on this map. 5-3. 2-round lead secured in BESTIA. Nearing the end of their economic rope. That op is a very expensive investment, which Luchov drops to Noktse. Noktse's had a good go with it, but will it be enough is the question. Very solid buy here. The next round will be anything but if it goes the way of Fluxo. Fluxo, back to AKs across the board. No op invested this time around. The highlight thus far for me has been Chay's lurk in towards lobby. He's been the late activation. He's had tremendous impact on rounds where BESTIA look promising. He'll shut them out. He'll bring Fluxo a second wind. And in that round, he all but seals it with his late lurk out to find one and cement the 2-person advantage. Slow round again. Fluxo just probing in towards lobby, showing presence, taking some damage, dealing none, but still keeping BESTIA honest without any sort of aggression in this round.
Yeah, Chay's been a standout player for Fluxo. He's been good to watch. Solid in how he executes his kills. Not the flashiest player, but he gets the job done. And he piles up a bunch of kills. And that's exactly what you need. Sometimes just that guy who's going to be your workhorse. He's going to get the job done. He's going to get all those kills for you. And you can rely on him to hold your back. And he's been catching off those lurkers, those late pushes for control as well. It's been a big part of settling things in their favor. Naz gets pushed in by 4. Barely does any damage. Finished off by Lucaozy. But they don't clear Tomazin, who does not get 2. He's traded out by VSM. Now the utility to lock out the entrance to the site to enable the cross in the plant. Noktse again in cubby with the off. That's a dangerous position to play in because you're essentially one and done with the big green. Luchov tries around the smoke, and he is successful for 1. Luchov looks for more as Myron catches Zevi backing into him. Just Chay and PKL on 8 HP rather. Left alone. Chay buys his time. What a shot for the first. Gets a lineup on the second, but he's jumping across. Cannot quite close it out. PKL. He's got one chance to do it all. One spray! He's not going to get it at the end. He gets the kill, but it's too late and too far to the right. A miracle round for BESTIA. They keep this one within 1. But still, as you said, Nate, even in the rounds which BESTIA win, it still seems that Fluxo are in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I do like BESTIA's aggressive retake, though. Luchov in the smoke, totally unexpected. Sure, Noktse, he's played in that cubby before with the op. He's been punished there, but with that support, it becomes an entirely different round. A little bit of luck at the end to survive that spam while defusing, but overall, BESTIA aggressive posturing gives them the edge, and of course gets them just across the victory line. But that does not settle their economic woes. It gives them a little bit of extra time, another round with which to have a decent investment, but there are cracks showing. Naz specifically on that MP9, losers wanting more. However, Noktse, top has been hit and miss, but this round is anything but. It's a master class. 3 kills secured at range from the op from 3 different disparate angles. It's VSM and Chay, the final pair to try and pick up the pieces. VSM, with a flurry of targets to find, misses the shot on both. And now with only 11 HP, he's going to have a much harder go at it. Chay, as we mentioned, exemplary on the lobby lurk, will be left alone and up the creek without a paddle. No bomb plant, no utility, no teammates. And at this point, it's going to be an early wave of the white flag. They're going to save their weapons for round number 11, that final round in this first half. Where is it? No, never mind. Round number 11 is the second to last round. Excuse me. Math wrong. But I digress. They need to save these weapons for this next so they can get a full buy in round number 11 and hopefully steal away the advantage going into that second half.
I would say even just a tie scoreline wouldn't be a bad thing for Fluxo going into half number 2. I mean, their T-side numbers are just shy of 50% at 48.3%, but their CT, Nate, 68% win rate on CT rounds. That's where they make their bacon. That's where they get their money. That's where they win their games. And this punish coming through from BESTIA. 1-2 after time? Yes. Both of them after the time expired, so no saves allowed. A bit of a punish to the CT economy, but I think that's well worth it for BESTIA to go take those 2 guns out of hand. Because instead of a buy-up with some AKs, the op, and danger, 1 AK, Tech 9s, Deagles, no, not even.
Just 1 Deagle.
Glocks and a Deag. 2 Deags. But such a less potent buy compared to what it could have been. That was a good heads-up play.
It's a calculated risk and it pays off. Losing 2 for 2, I'd say, is definitely favorable. Now it's aggression towards ramp for the pistols. Pop out. Tomazin, unfortunate enough to get blinded by that one. Going to head for the hills, metaphorically speaking. Running away from these Glocks. Trying to do damage. He knows that he has to put his foot down, and unfortunately for him, the AK is in the right position, finding the opening. BESTIA scrambling now to set up solid post plant, retake positions. Fluxo not forcing the bomb plant early. They're going to bide their time. They're hoping that BESTIA get antsy and overextend yet again. actually doubling back. Still have 3 towards B, but there's 2 going towards lobby for an A site play. Trade in on the last player towards B, in control. Good kill from VSM. Advantage remains, but as mentioned, the bomb has migrated. It's on A. BESTIA are wise to it.
They level up a 3v3, now a 3v2 as Myron and Luchov push in towards the A site. They picked up kills. Not quite yet picked up the round. Now as the defuse comes through, they get the round. And another kill. Lucaozy will back away to not die after time. And here we get more buys up here. Last round of the half. Last ditch buys for Fluxo. No op, but a good amount of utility. The AKs are there. The op is in the hands of Noktse as well. He's definitely picked up the pace. Overtaken Naz as well, who had 7 kills about 5 rounds into the game. He was absolutely stellar early. He's gone a bit quiet. The rest of his team have raised their level. And that was the concern. Could BESTIA back up and raise the level that Naz was showing early? The rest of the team has gotten close. Got a very tense lead of only 1 round. Could very well be taken away from them. Fluxo already with a solid score. 1 more round would just really pile on the pressure.
Put a whole lot of pressure on that pistol round, to say the least. BESTIA, though, have begun to awaken at the very least. Individuals, Naz, Noktse, even Luchov, all having their individual moments. Also looking a lot more comfortable on Nuke as well. Retake that read last round, specifically speaking to their reads and their fluency of Nuke. A solid start now as PKL's been dropped and Lucaozy spotted towards Africa. Caught. It's 2 more. Myron and Naz also chiming in. Only 1 remaining. VSM, the last hope to tie up this score at halftime, and Myron's waiting. Myron finds him 7-5. BESTIA reawaken in the first. Can they continue in the second? We'll see after the break.
No secrets.
Caught up in emotions, think I'm losing track. I need you to stay by my side. Feel like I'm floating, comfortably detached. Will you stay if I lose my mind? And I want to let go. Don't let me even if I try. But I need you to know that I don't want to lose this high. I don't wanna lose this high.
BESTIA, a slow start, but a nice recovery to emerge with a slim advantage heading into the second half. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action, and still a lot of pressure on this pistol round. As mentioned, Fluxo have a smothering CT side advantage, like 68% round win rate on this map for the CT side, and played it 12 times in the last 3 months. That means they are very proficient, and BESTIA need to get their wheels turning quickly. The issue is the pistol, the early goings favor this CT side. 3 versus 2 now. Tomazine does fight back for 1. They still have to run this gauntlet in towards B, and VSM beheads the flying Myron, leaving just Tomazine in the clutch. 1v3, blindsided by the very same. VSM still lurking out of the ramp, and a 6th secured for Fluxo very quickly. No bomb plant. BESTIA very likely going to be on a full save in round number 14.
A full save and most likely a tie ball game here. Okay, 1 deagle. Not quite a full save, but... Oh, P250 picked up too. Yeah, okay, so a little bit more purchased up by BESTIA. But it's still, for all intents and purposes, a nothing investment. 2 upgraded pistols, not a shred of anything else, not a speck of utility, no armor, nothing along those lines. They're just hoping for a kill or 2. And what they need to avoid is running into Lucaozy or Chay. Don't feed these money-making guns. There's no armor on anybody from BESTIA. The SMG will shred. The shotgun, even more so. So for BESTIA, they'll work around, try and get a pick on an aggressing Fluxo player, but if you guys didn't watch Overpass, Fluxo did a very good job of not over-aggressing. I don't see why that would change here, especially now that the scoreline is much closer than it was on Overpass. There's 2 for the auto shotgun. Couple reloads there for Chay as he goes hunting for more. Now he's going to pressure and try and really build up that big 3. Can he get the ace? No, he can't, but he does get 4. And he'll grab the M4 too. That's a nice bit of cash. $900 a kill.
It's absurd that gun still gets $900 per kill as a shotgun, but the P2 or not the P250, the P90 only gets $300 per kill as an SMG.
Yep. I would say with the P90, give it $450, split the difference, and call it a day. But also, the CT economy is just completely busted, anyways. So
the auto shotgun needs the CZ treatment. Knock it down to 100.
Not even 300 for the rifle.
Not even 300. That thing needs to be banished.
And then people just use the Mag 7 jumping around corners again.
That gun has been neutered too effectively, unfortunately.
BESTIA
BESTIA
has.
They have a little bit of utility, but it's the rifles. They're relying on the aim, the individuals to get the kills here, to be wise to the plays of Fluxo, who've also pulled out an op in the 3rd round of the second half, very early on to bring out the scoped weapon, but it could be the edge they need. The issue is luchov is lurked all the way around. They got him into this power position. He's going up for a flank in heaven. There's a player here that'll be caught unawares entirely. That's Chay. Beheaded. That's the first secured. Zevi, though, not going to be exposed. He's all the way through Squeaky Door, and he'll go tit for tat, finding a trade. Now things get awkward. This flank in towards A now has to fight the player sitting in lobby. PKL spots the barrel of Noktse. No! Noxie's the one to emerge with the duel. This is an awkward round now. Fluxo retaking the T side's positions, and BESTIA holding as if they are the defending side in round number 15.
Yeah, it's a really awkward turn of events. The bomb does go down, and Noktse barely survives with 20 HP. Zevi probably should just consider saving here. Lucaozy should join him. There's no real recourse in this round for Fluxo, and that's a crispy shot from Lucaozy. But it's not going to factor into the actual round. It's just going to look nice for the highlight reel, you know? Zevi with 1 more on the exit, but
those skills might factor into the next round, though.
the economy battle.
Exactly. 2 players surviving with the T side is okay, but they might be lacking a little bit of utility going into round number 16. Fluxo, with 2 rifles saved, we can see Lucaozy drop 1. PKL can afford like a FAMAS for himself. Zevi can drop a FAMAS as well. It'll still be an okay buy for them, but Both teams are probably going to feel the strain on the economy going into this round. Fluxo more so, however, as they are the team to go for a tactical pause to start off this round.
First time out for Fluxo in this series. BESTIA have used 3 so far. 2 on overpass, 1 here. But I do like the timeout call here from Fluxo. You have 3 of them. You only have 1/2 of Counter-Strike to play. You might as well use them. Especially if you don't want to let BESTIA steal away a map that realistically Fluxo should take. And with some confidence. It's already been shaken. They are going to have to figure out how to not let people get all the way around outside and backstab. That's another big thing.
It's a big gap that hopefully won't be exposed again. That feels like something that Fluxo can adjust around. Early aggressive play towards A2 in the hut, but the auto shotgun's here to greet them. A pair for chay. Lucaozy a third while blinded the smoke onto Myron. Noktse and luchov next to no utility. Just a couple Molotovs. In a dream at this stage. Noxie's already tagged a bit. PKL commanding presence outside. Here's the player jumping up towards Marshmallow. This round should be done and dusted. Noktse caught dropping. And luchov is across the map. He has found a gap to at least get aggressive. Pushing in towards ramp. That location has been vacated. But as you can tell, VSM is already moving to fill in said gap. Fluxo off the back of the attack pause. Could potentially secure a very convincing round. Unless luchov has some heroics up his sleeve. He's found 1. Now he's been boxed in from behind as well. Chay, top lobby. PKL, the long way round T-spawn into Lucaozy coming in squeaky door. A trio, if necessary, ready to put this player to bed.
Just don't over-aggress Fluxo. They swing together, and there is another headshot from luchov. At least it does some more damage to the CT economy, but he is subsequently finished off. And so we have a tie game at 8 apiece now. The money for the T side as well with no bomb plant is relatively broken. That's going to be the second timeout of the map for BESTIA. Upgraded pistols, armor, it's probably the most they can hope for. Meanwhile, Fluxo just need to not die. Don't die to the pistols. That's game plan for the CTs. Build up some hold up. Naz going for a full investment?
This is a peculiar call, but if they get a bomb plant, maybe someone can drop him. Iron's going for the Eagle as well. That's
a heavy risk.
It's very clearly something they're calculating, though.
Well, in the words of Grand Moff Tarkin, Nate, it's an awful risk evader. This had better work.
It better work. BESTIA. Definitely feeling that pressure, as we mentioned. Fluxo very solid on the CT side. All the bells and whistles for the most part for them, including 2 AKs that were recovered in rounds prior. Naz has to either be the hero or the one leading the charge so his AK can be recovered. One of the 2. BESTIA not showing much presence whatsoever. Running around in lobby, showing that much, but all 5 stacked up for a ramp rush. Is there a flash in hand? There is 2 for luchov. He won't throw them. Instead, VSM will behead the hero player. AK dropped, recovered by Tomazine. Zevy's rotated in and is ready. The op does not miss. It will find 1. It will get away as well. Or will it? luchov jumping through the flames finds 1, sowing a bit of chaos. Now things can get a little bit interesting. PKL trying to drop the player who picked up that op. He knows luchov's towards the locker. Very heads-up call. Tomazine and Iron, the last 2 both towards ramp, now grouping up with the opper as well. They seem to know that PKL is towards this box CT spawn, and they will swing. The Deagle dropped PKL's lobe, still alive, and the op of luchov through the box itself finds the kill. Shadow betrays Chay, and luchov doubles down for 3 total in the round. We're at even footing. We're at 2 apiece. Lucaozy, VSM, luchov and Tomazine. Lucaozy an off angle, good enough to find 1. luchov with the op though, could still work his magic. Up in heaven, he's been spotted.
Look at
That
the time.
information on VSM could be something, but 10 seconds. Forces his hand. He'll drop in. He'll go for the plant. Lucaozy walking out, biding his time perfectly. And VSM there is an insurance policy just in case. Fluxo negotiate a tenuous crossing, but BESTIA get a bomb plant. They get a lot of kills. As you mentioned, they're shaking that CT side confidence.
And that CT side economy, too. The op saved for Zevi's huge, but it's going to force another heavy reinvestment from Fluxo. BESTIA will buy up. Naz will be none in the MAC 10 and nothing else. But that awful risk, it worked. Not any thanks to the AK at all. In fact, the AK did nothing. That was all Glocks.
Blocking up.
Glock and op, yep.
It was
And
luchov.
one man. It was all luchov.
I don't think they might have invested into the flashbangs, but yeah, not a weapon. Not Kevlar either, which is crazy.
But they would have still had the flashbangs regardless, just buying around the pistols.
It's true. Lucaozy finding one, tripling down. Ooh. He's up top lobby. He got all the way through. It was a lobby crunch.
He just pushed in and went up the ladder.
Pushed in, went up the ladder, took down everyone. Now the last two were the outside presence. Naz got across secret, sure, but they gave up a whole lot of map to get to that point. Luchov doesn't know what's safe at this stage. There's a player credit. There was a player top lobby. It's a very small sliver of the map with which he can confidently say is his own. How do they go from here? Flash in towards garage, but it's already expected. Naz steps heard. By PKL. Should be a formality at this point. Mac 10 could maybe get one. Yeah, PKL distracted between two angles is caught, but surely this round doesn't spiral out of control. Surely. Fluxo get across the line. Chay dinked down top Marshmallow. Now things get awkward, but with 30 seconds left, there's still a lot to do. Naz finds one. Chay dropping. Does find luchov over, leaving just Naz. He's found both kills thus far. It'd be a 1 versus 3 ace clutch to tie things up. Does have an empty bomb site. He's made the right read. He can plant B. Question is, can he hold off a retake?
Oh, if he waits an extra second, he gets the kill on the drop, but he doesn't have the extra second, which is the problem. Pushes in, he's got one on a plate, and tries to take down Chay as well. Chay on 2 HP, tries to fight down Naz for the clutch! 1 round shy of glory. Oh, man, Naz. He played that so well.
Think about how differently could have gone. He got that second kill on that spam crossing. If he waited a second longer at the bottom of vents and got that kill. There's so many worlds where that does go the other direction with just an extra second here or there, but in this reality, he just ever so slightly misses the finish line there. 10-8. That bomb plant will allow BESTIA to buy at least, giving them a chance to try and stave off the 11th. Question is, what is the play? It looks like aggression might be the call. It is straight out A. The Molotov extinguished towards the hut. It's awkward with these flashbangs. Naz and Meyer in 2 entries. Lucaozy does find one while falling, but the entries go the way of BESTIA. 4 versus 2. Bomb should hit dirt shortly, and Fluxo might just head for the hills because of those entries.
They're gonna have to run to the hills, run for their lives. There's nothing they can do in this round to affect it. The A crunch through the fire does not deter BESTIA. And they claim another round. This one's going back and forth here pretty consistently. The later stages of this map. That's even better as the punish finds PKL. No saved gun, and the money for Fluxo absolutely destitute.
Could be hunted out as well. Myron's running. Oh, Myron's caught. I forgot about the radius. It's a big cylinder in the middle of the map. If you're anywhere near it, you're as good as dead. So Myron will fall, but still convincing round. 3 players survive. The T side get the bomb plant. Easily reinvest. And as you mentioned, Fluxo back to sticks and stones at this point. They have that 1 hero AK, and that's all they really have with teeth in this round. Maybe they can get a deagle if they really want to justify it, but
P250.
yeah, P250 seems like the only possible pistol coming through for Fluxo.
Pistols outside. Hope you can get 1 or 2. Grab a rifle. And let VSM solo ramp. That's my call here. Try something numbers with the lesser weapons. And the AK can get 1, 2, and stay alive on ramp if played properly.
You can also go for a lobby crunch, speed things up, use the numbers. It's a lot of
But
options.
since they ran A last round, I don't think they'll do it again.
It's fair.
BESTIA has been very careful to not do the same thing over and over. They've been very sure to mix things up. That's the only thing I see. If they go back to the A crunch, I would be a little surprised, especially considering the weaponry, which Fluxo have too. They have to know the money's broken.
BESTIA have done very well to control the pace of this one thus far on this T side. Again, I was a little bit worried. I think you were too. This is Fluxo's map pick. It's a map that they are far better on historically. They have an overall, what was their record? 9-3,
Fluxo,
if I'm not mistaken. 8-3. Okay, I was pretty dang close. Only losing it recently to Golaris. Everybody else has pretty much been felled. You mentioned 9Z is a team that has been toppled by the likes of Fluxo. So this is a very stalwart overall comprehension of the map for Fluxo. Yet BESTIA are still giving them their best go despite their far more modest 2-2 record on the map. And again, given BESTIA's falter in the opening map, 13-2, I would expect something very similar coming into the second map. And yet, here we are, BESTIA, well poised to potentially tie this up, and we get to see what Fluxo have up their sleeves. It is a desperate force buy. 2 FAMASas to back up the AK, a pair of pistols being a deagle and a 5.7. There's some utility sprinkled in. There's a hero kit, but they are at a hefty disadvantage. BESTIA, what's going to be the call in round number 20? How can Fluxo respond?
Or they can respond with a couple of FAMAS kills, but the pistol's up close. The 5.7 headshot turns into an AK. And the opening kill goes the way of the Brazilians. Naz is down on B, however. He dropped through the vents, does not have the bomb, which is a problem. VSM forced away, that contact made. And then they go to A. Lucaozy, FAMAS for 1, 2, and maybe a third. Running low on health and on ammunition. Tosses the flash instead. Tries to back up his teammate, but he has fallen. Sevi comes in to bring it to a 1v2. And VSM cleans up the last. The force spy from Fluxo finds success. And it's the FAMAS back silo with a massive 2-piece that gets things going for Fluxo, and so the rounds trade back and forth again. Never good for the CT economy, but given the lack of rounds left, Fluxo can find at least guaranteed overtime with these sort of back and forth swings, and potentially even a win depending on how the momentum favors or disfavors them. But look at the money for BESTIA too. It's a swing round. Round number 21, where Fluxo can put themselves on match point and have BESTIA broke as a joke.
Awkward chay. Might have even spotted the leg of Tomazin through the ladder hole. They pass with no damage exchanged. Luchov as well. Nice lurk out towards Secret. Chay reaggressing will be the one to open the round up for Fluxo. Tomazin dropped. No trade either for this T side. Means that now things might just fall apart. Most players just sitting in lobby. 3/4 going towards ramp. It's going to be a B split with that late activation from the lurk. Zevi, the first to be challenged towards ramp. No, it's VSM in the corner, and it's a collapse. Naz finds one, but Zevi trades it back, and Lucaozy already waiting for that late secret play. Takes down Luchov. No bomb plant, and as you mentioned, BESTIA broke as a joke going up against series point for Fluxo.
What will they buy? Tech 9s, armor, utility, a Mac 10 for Luchov. Everyone else identical on the buy. No op for Zevi. An AK in his hands. maybe a big iron on his hip. But what matters is the scoreline at 12-9 in favor of Fluxo. Looking to put a 2-0 on BESTIA here, move into the upper bracket final, playing the winner of MIBR and Young Sharks. Presumably that will be MIBR, that's just my rough guess. I actually haven't seen any scores from that one, but that's just what I'm going to take a wild guess and say. What was my impression looking at the initial matchups? But a slow...
Sharks won map number 1.
They
so
did?
They did.
Weird.
13-7 on Made in Brazil's pick.
That's kind of astonishing.
Astonishing. Something nonetheless. Pistols finally showing presence. Actually, it's Zevi instead showing presence in towards Hut. He'll get the opener, but he is low. 3 players now running in. 3 kills for Zevi. Finally traded. Naz doubles it down with a kill onto Chay, but still a lot more heavy lifting to do for this final pair of players. Naz and Noktse. 2v3, making a 1v3. Naz alone, tagged down through the smoke, exchanging broadsides with the Lucaozy. He'll double back, hoping to catch the lurking VSM, but the kill's not clean. In fact, the kill doesn't come whatsoever. 13-9, VSM puts that final player to bed, and while Fluxo struggle a little bit more so on map 2 than map number 1, they do still get that clean sweep in the series, 2-0, with a 13-2 victory on Overpass and a 13-9 victory on Nuke.
Clean sweep indeed. Great on Overpass. A little bit shaky.